Hey you guys, I am back with another video. I wanted to make a follow-up on the one I did a couple days ago when I was getting my eyebrows microbladed. So I just basically wanted to go through and talk about your initial appointment, your aftercare, and then what to expect in the days afterward. So I'm going to start with your first appointment because there is two. She charges $250 and that includes 2 appointments. The second is your perfecting session. So I haven't even gotten to that stage yet and my brows look amazing. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about was when you first go in there, she is going to numb your brows, so you don't have to worry about it being painful at all. Really, for me, it just felt like someone was tweezing my eyebrows, and that's not that bad for me. So she's going to put the numbing cream on you. It's going to sit for upwards of an hour. It really just depends on you personally, if you feel numb after half an hour or more numb after 45 minutes and so on and so forth. So she probably left mine about 45 minutes to an hour, probably just to be safe, which is really nice. I heard a horror story on a makeup page after I posted my brows on there that she went and got her brows microbladed and she felt every single bit of it, which apparently was the most painful tattoo that she had ever gotten. So definitely make sure that you are numb. She's going to ask you a ton if you feel anything, so definitely make sure that you are at that comfortable level. So second thing I wanted to talk about was the tool that she uses. It's not like a normal gun. When I got my eyebrows tattooed the first time, she used a little, it's not like a normal tattoo gun. It was a little bit smaller. It didn't have that like crazy tattoo sound. It was very like minimal and small. But what Sarah used was a little handheld tool, and what she did was she put the hair strokes in one by one. So I thought that was really cool. That's why it feels like your eyebrows are getting tweezed, really, because it kind of feels like she's pulling out some hairs when really she's creating them. So let me see. I have a list, so I want to go through it. The advice I have to give when you're going to your appointment is be picky. Make sure that you tell her the shape that you want, what you expect of the outcome as far as shape, darkness, lightness of the brows, anything that you have a concern about. Make sure to tell her. She is there to listen. She communicates very well. So make sure that that brow shape is exactly what you want, because it's going to be there forever. So yeah, definitely be picky. Another thing is I wouldn't really hold your brows like differently, you know, especially when she's kind of looking at you straight ahead to make sure that they're actually level and they're straight. Don't have one brow raised or like one down. I made it a point to be very relaxed. I didn't raise my brows or anything. I just kind of look straight ahead, kind of like you would in everyday life, I guess you could say. So just make sure to have your face even. So oh, I got hair. Yeah. The next thing I wanted to talk about was just aftercare. Basically, the only thing that she gave me to use was Aquaphor, and it worked amazing. It was probably the best thing that I could have used for my brows. So the first 2 to 3 days, you want to leave the Aquaphor on there pretty saturated, just because you don't want your brows to dry out and start crusting or peeling before they actually need to. So I would definitely leave your brows a little bit saturated for the first 3 days. The third and fourth day, really, my brows started peeling a bunch, which is good. I feel like they healed up a lot faster than like a normal tattoo, obviously. So 3-4 days they started peeling. Today, I believe all of the excess stuff is already off. I'm still not wearing any eyebrow anything. I'm not wearing concealer underneath either. I have not exfoliated the whole time. So just keep that in mind too. Do not put any Heavy moisturizers, don't put anything that has fragrance on it. Do not do any heavy exfoliating, because you want to make sure that that ink is staying in there. It's not being messed with by any like weird chemicals. It's not being messed with by being exfoliated and rubbed around pretty vigorously. So just make sure to keep that in mind. Treat it very gently. Really, yeah, that's about it for aftercare. That's all I did. I used unscented soap. I didn't scrub very hard when I cleaned my brows for the first couple days. I really just got my face a little bit wet, not underneath the water or anything, because she said to avoid that for the first couple days. So really, I just got a little bit of soap on my finger. I wiped it, got water, wiped it again, did that a couple times, and it worked fine. You don't want to pull off any stuff that's peeling before it needs to be off, because that will definitely affect the end look. So, things to avoid. Okay, so she told me that I needed to avoid caffeine before I went in for my appointment, which totally sucked for me because it was like 10 in the morning, but I did it anyway. I'm not entirely sure on the reason. I'm assuming it's because it kind of gets you going and kind of makes your blood run a little bit faster. So just avoid caffeine, no green tea, no coffee, no soda. What I drank before I went in was just not green tea, chamomile and lavender, which is just a more relaxing tea. So something like that, water, anything that makes you feel comfortable. So obviously avoid touching your brows for a couple days. They are going to be pretty saturated in Aquaphor for the first 3-4 days, so you're not going to want to touch them anyway. Obviously avoid makeup, obviously avoid exfoliation. I talked about that already. Let me see. More advice that I have to give is don't quite judge your brows the first couple days, especially if you know that you swell with tattooing. Like I said, when I get tattooed, I tend to go 3D. So my first couple days, I did not that they looked bad, but I can tell, and I know my body, and I know that my brows were very swollen, so I didn't even want to look at them yet and see what they looked like really, or the shape, because I knew that they needed to kind of subside a little bit. And now that the swelling has gone down, they look amazing. They look perfect. They're on point. So another thing is, since you do have another session with her, now is the time to make sure that that shape is right, that you do like it. You like the arch, you like how long it is, how thick it is, how light it is, how dark it is. Make sure that that brow is something that you like. So when you go in for your second session, you can communicate that to her and she knows what you're looking for. So again, just make sure that that brow is what you want. So let's see. Basically, just go in there with a shape in mind also. Take pictures. Like, it's always nice to have more of a visual, especially when you are the artist trying to recreate something. So I even went in there with my brows already done in the shape that I wanted. So she had that visual of what it looks like, what I want it to look like. And if you don't know how to create that shape on yourself, but you see it online somewhere, take that picture in and show it to her, and she can draw it on your face, and you can decide if that's even something that works for your specific face shape. And that's really, really big. If you're getting your brows tattooed, you want to make sure that it's fluid with your face shape. You know, I don't want something that has an arch super far out here, which when I got my brows tattooed the first time, she tattooed the arch more towards the outer edge of my eye, and I didn't really think anything of it back then, but now that I'm more into brows, I realized that doesn't work well for my face shape. My face shape needs a little bit higher of an arch right more in the middle. So definitely keep that in mind. And yeah, she will definitely play around with the brow shape and make sure that it's something you want. So Anyway, I'm super in love with my brows. If you are interested in getting your brows done, Sarah is the one I went to. She owns Sublime Brows here in Boise, and she just runs her little shop out of Looks Unlimited on Overland. It's like the cutest little shop. It looks like a little house salon. So if you want to set up an appointment with her, it's $250. That includes 2 sessions. She's amazing. You don't have to worry about not being numbed up, which I know a lot of people are worried about. So definitely give her a look and go say hi and tell her I sent you, and let me know if you guys have any questions. I'm still going to be posting a video at least once a week just to kind of show you how they're healing up, because they're not done healing yet. I still have, I would say, at least 3 weeks until I can actually put makeup over them if I want to. I'm definitely not going to exfoliate my brows probably for at least another week. So again, if you have any more questions, if you have questions for Sarah, you can comment below and she will answer for you. So thanks for watching. Bye.